mentees here at the family weekend, I bet you have the most unique job title.
Chief Fairy.
Yes. Yeah. Affectionately known among friends as the Hairy Fairy.
Don't know why.
Don't know why. Your actual job title is Chief Fairy at Fairy Bricks.
Yeah.
I did a Google image search for fairy, and I can tell you there wasn't a single picture among them that the results that even remotely resembled you. So how did the title come about?
It came back in 2012, 2013, when we did the first ever fundraising event on Brickset. And someone just called me the Hairy Fairy because I have a small beard, and it just stuck from that point on. So I thought we'll go with it, and that's how we came up with the Fairy Bricks branding initially.
So just passing by, it was just a random idea.
Random comment on a message board, and it's stuff. Boom.
Can you hear him all right? When you want to use the microphone? It's fine?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Can you remember your first Lego set?
I can. It was 6384, which is a police station. And it makes me think now that when AFOS complain about the number of police stations that get produced, I say no, let's keep producing the police stations. It's a rite of passage. For every 5-year-old boy and every 5-year-old girl, we need one in the catalogue all the time. And I loved that thing with the up and over garage door. It was the first time I'd seen a brick with a groove. Put the garage door in, and they essentially make it the same way now, that same part.
So everybody should own a police station.
Everybody, yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a builder or a collector?
Absolute collector. Never build. Don't have those skills, but I do really enjoy collecting.
Okay. So I find that one of the most interesting and fascinating aspects of the Lego hobby is that it takes on so many forms. You have collectors, the completists, the minifig collectors, the photographers, the set builders, the mock builders, and then there are people like you who have developed special skills when it comes to finding the good deals, where you will get the most Lego for your money.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy the hunt. So the set comes out and you identify that set and you think, yeah, I want it now. No. Is 20% enough? No. 30? No. 45? Now I'm getting interested. That's when I'll pull that trigger and make the purchase.
Okay, so it requires a certain amount of restraint then?
Yes, and patience. Because the deals will always come, and you don't always need it that day. Because generally you'll buy it that day, well, I will, and I'll put it on the shelf for 2 years anyway, so why bother?
Do you sometimes see something that you just have to have still?
Auction items.
Oh, okay.
Things that I can't buy in stores.
So that's what it takes to tempt you out of the economy.
Something unique.
Okay, great. In September 2012, you attended the grand opening of the Lego store in Sheffield.
Yes.
And you received a limited edition Lego store opening set.
Yeah, 33003.
And that was the beginning of Fairy Bricks.
It was. I already had one of those sets, and lots of people wanted to trade with me for the set. And I didn't want to sell it. I don't like selling Lego. For me, it's not a commodity. It's just something I have. And I couldn't decide who to trade the set with. So it's like, hey guys, why don't we all throw in £1 each, 200 people, and that £200, then I'll use my special skills to go and buy some sets. And we did that, and I thought, this is a pretty good idea. And we took a little break and then came back in 2013, thanks to Hugh's help, thank you Hugh, and ran a much bigger event on Brickset the following year, which pulled in close to £6,000, I think. And so that was quite a big jump from 200 to 6,000, which did cause some problems because we weren't really prepared for that. We were doing good things, but without any knowledge whatsoever. So my phone started ringing. Hi, we're the Charity Commission in the UK. What are you doing? Hi, we're the Gambling Commission in the UK. What are you doing? And it's like, whoa, this is getting a little bit too strong. So then it was time to sit back and reflect. If we're going to do this, we need to do it correctly. We need to learn the law quickly. And that was when we came up with the name and that kind of thing in late 2013. to launch really to the public in 2014.
I think I'm going to ask you to use the microphone anyway because there's so much noise coming from the outside. So that was the beginning, and then Mr. Gold came.
Well, Mr. Gold was part of that 2013 situation where we asked the community if I could buy a Mr. Gold for a better price than the £500 he was selling for at the time, and nobody had one to sell. So people offered other things. I think the first was a white Boba Fett polybag. Then everybody else was like, yay, I've got this. And then halfway through we did actually get a Mr. Gold as well, and that boosted the total higher.
You donate Lego sets to hospitals.
Yes.
Lego sets are expensive, and people know that it's a premium product. So what do the hospitals say when you tell them you want to give them free Lego?
At the very start, they were extremely surprised.
Suspicious?
A little bit, yeah. Did I need an African shipping address and things like that. But now, because our reputation's grown and we've become more well known, we actually have an application process. So now we don't ask hospitals, they ask us, they fill in an online form, and then we put them in the queue. Nobody gets refused, it's just a matter of time of when we can reach these people.
Some of the hospitalized kids who benefit from your donations are Star Wars fans, undoubtedly.
Yep.
And you very rarely donate Star Wars sets. I assume that's probably not because you run into problems with the Trade Federation.
No, I am from the dark side, but it's just value for money. Children want the latest Batman figure. They want the latest Star Wars figure. And that entertains them for 5 minutes. However, the creator set entertains them for hours because they can build and rebuild and rebuild. And it's just better for them. We're taking the decision for them that, do you know what? You need the bricks. That's what's going to keep you entertained, so that's what we do.
Value for money, essentially.
All value for money, yeah.
Exactly. And obviously also the offers that you get on sets will also get you far further.
Exactly.
Even though we as fans do grumble about how expensive the hobby is and how hopeless it is to get hold of the Comic-Con exclusive and how annoying all the stickers are and why they couldn't get Wally's neck right the first time, to most of us fans, Lego is all about joy.
Yeah.
And we very rarely cry because of our hobby, but from time to time you actually do.
It's been known.
Yeah. And even though there's a lot of joy involved in what you do too, when you deal with sick children, you inevitably get in touch with tragedy and sadness. How does that affect you?
I try not to let it affect me, but occasionally it can't be avoided. In Birmingham last year, we had contact from a family, little boy who was terminally ill, and he wanted to come to Warren and Kitty's event, Brick Life. So we spoke to the right people, we got tickets, and I built a relationship with the mum over 2 weeks. He was in hospital, and we didn't know until kind of 12 o'clock that day if he was going to make it. So he came down with his extended family, there's 9 of them I think, and I went round all the retailers and said, right, give me that and that. Why? I don't care why, just give it to me. And I was just taking things off to put a package together for this little boy, and he was really into Minecraft, and we didn't have a Minecraft set, you know, the big one, but I had one, so I just took it from my collection. And he came down, he was in a wheelchair, and he hadn't walked for maybe 2 weeks, and we showed him the big Minecraft set, and he got out of the wheelchair, came over, and he wouldn't give me a cuddle, but he would cuddle the box. And he was so happy, and then I had a hug with his mum, shook hands with his dad, and then he went to enjoy the show, and I just walked out the back and cried. And he died 6 days after that. And we can't stop that, but we can make that moment, and it gives the family a memory. They won't forget that day when he came and got those things. And it gets me now, you know?
I was asking because of this story, because I've already heard it before, and his parents actually wanted you to be involved with the funeral?
Oh no, that's another one. That's a different one. Yeah, with Elspeth de Montes, who I'm sure lots of people here know. We met a little boy at an event, I'm going to say 2014, and we often get emails from parents saying, oh, thank you so much for the set. So we got this email, oh, my son had a fantastic time playing with one of your sets. It was a creator prop playing set, like a £13 set. And he felt so great building the set. And I'm reading this and I felt really good. I think, this is why we do this. 2 days later he died. So you go from there to there.
It said that in the letter, right?
Yeah, all the way down. And his family wanted us to go to his funeral and build a display. And I just physically couldn't be there for a variety of reasons. So I put a call out to the community, and Elspeth de Montes said, yeah, I'll do that. But the parents wanted to use his Lego. And they didn't even know, but he was a prolific mock builder. So Elspeth went into his bedroom and found all of these mocks and put them together in a diorama, because originally the parents just wanted to rebuild the sets. It's like, well, no, there's all these incredible things here, which are his, and she just rearranged them. But incredible that she could step into that situation and just handle it so well.
Thank you for sharing that. Moving on to something completely different. How is the Lego Group involved in what you do?
Within the UK, we're the official, well, one of the official charity partners for Lego UK. And that involves some assistance with funding. Not a great deal, but it's increasing all the time. But the most important thing that we do with them is take their employees and they volunteer for us. And we visit hospitals for what we call stay and play days. So we arrive with maybe €3,000 of Lego sets and just stay there all day, opening and building with children. And it's very valuable for Lego employees, because we think of Lego employees and we think of Jan and Kim, guys who are connected to the brick, but the majority of staff work in IT or shipping or marketing, and they never touch Lego at all. So you put them down with children in a bedside situation, or we work in large play areas, that kind of thing, and we have to give them a cheat sheet about who the characters are in things like Ninjago and Nexo Knights, to explain to them.
They don't know.
They don't know. It's not their job to know, but it makes them connect with their own product. So Lego UK, I think that's fantastic.
So you actually help the Lego employees do their job better?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. You're also running a massive annual Lego event in Manchester, Bricktastic, which I have yet to hear a single bad word about. Was that a natural expansion for you?
I don't know if it's massive, but
Big.
it's biggish.
And getting bigger.
Getting bigger. We just thought it was a good funding opportunity for us, let's be honest. But we also needed a larger event in the north of England. You know the UK event scene. We have Steam, and we obviously have the Brick Live events as well, but we didn't have anything further north. So we saw an opportunity, but it's got a very special atmosphere. It's not a commercially driven event, and when people come through and pay that ticket money, they know it's not going for profit. They know, yes, there are costs. Can't put an event on an event like this without costs, but ultimately it's a charitable donation, and they get a great day out at the same time, so everybody wins.
And speaking of donations, you get direct donations as well for your charity.
Occasionally, yes.
What's the most surprising or shocking or awe-inspiring donation you've got?
I'm going to say this year we had a little boy and girl, twins, and it was their 6th birthday, Victoria and Timothy. And instead of having birthday presents, they had a party, and everybody was requested to bring an under £20 city, creator or friend set to donate instead of giving them a birthday gift. And for 6-year-old children to get on board with that, I thought that was pretty special.
But it's not all about how big the donation is, it's how much.
No, it's. I'm more interested in effort than cash.
Exactly.
I don't want someone just to write a cheque for £1 million to make them feel good. Effort. It's all about
make you
effort.
feel a bit better as well, though.
Yeah, maybe 2 more ivory back scratches.
Lovely. Very early, you expanded to other countries.
Yeah.
Are there any particular difficulties you encounter when you venture out of the UK?
People believing that you're from the UK and you want to give them a lot of Lego.
So the same thing essentially that.
Yeah, but it's even harder. We work with Goldman Sachs, the investment bank, on some of their volunteering days. We started in London and we do one in New York now as well. And when you contact the New York hospitals, they are just totally blown away that we're willing to fund something like that from our side of the pond. But we get the same reaction, you know? It works.
Do you worry about Brexit?
Every day. I worry about the cost, because we've seen that already. But it's beyond my control. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's true. Final question for you, Ken. If there's anybody in the crowd here, maybe especially not from within the UK, who are thinking, I'd like to do something like this, would you like to have a word with them?
Yeah, just come and say hi. I'm not as grumpy as my reputation precedes. Maybe not first thing on the morning, and not last thing at night, because you won't get much sense out of me then. But you know, kind of between the hours of 4 and 5, normally I'm pretty okay.
Okay, so talk to you between 4 and 5 and,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to give them a good answer.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming, Kevin.